Hey, players, it's me, Ray. Back for one final time this year to cap off my first year as Rey Plays Games. What I thought I'd do, something a little bit different. There are amazing content creators out there. Obviously, I see stuff about rankings and top heroes, top villains. I thought I'd do something more in keeping with this channel, the playthroughs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through basically most played heroes in 2024 that I've played. This will be fun. So I had chats with fellow players. A shout out to Martine, and Martine, as we chatted, was telling me how he kept tabs on the heroes and scenarios he played this year and how he wanted to ensure that he played all of them this year. I haven't kept tabs of that, so I've just kind of played what I felt like. Sometimes I was a little bit conscious of not playing a hero, so I'd play them. But for the most part, I wasn't keeping tabs on it. So I thought it'll be interesting to see how many times I played each kind of character and which character I played the most this year. So let's get cracking, shall we? Before I start, what I've done, obviously, I've ranked them from the least played to the most played, and I've got a breakdown of aspects as well. So I'll kind of go through them kind of quickly. But yeah, let's just keep this fast and loose and see how we go. What I really love to know from you guys as well is who has your most played hero been? Who is your least hero? Who's your least played hero been? Are there any heroes that surprised you, that you played more than you thought you would? And inversely, are there others that you have not played as much as you thought you would? So let's see how we go. So this year I played 650 games. I'm not sure if that's big or small. But yeah, I play a lot, as much as I can. And yes, it was a nice round number, 650. So that's true solo as well as multiplayer as well, all culminated there. Now, the first hero that I hadn't... as I said, I don't keep tabs on which heroes I have and haven't played. So there actually is a hero that I haven't played this year, and that is Nebula. I'm really sorry that I haven't played her. She's a pretty fun character, but I just hadn't got around to her. I do know that I did play her 3 times this year, but it wasn't logged in as completed, so I must have been interrupted by something. So I distinctly remember playing her, but she is at the bottom of the list, unfortunately. Hopefully more next year. Now, there are heroes that I've played once this year, and they are Groot, just once in Justice, Ironheart, once in Aggression, and Nova, once in Justice as well. Now, admittedly, champion traded heroes I have paid least attention to, and Groot, I haven't been kind of wanting to kind of play him. I don't know why. I have him in protection now in one of my decks, so I will play him a couple more times before the year's out. But yeah, these 3 actually, I will say Ironheart and Nova have surprised me. I have played them. Obviously I played them this year, but Nova I have played in a playthrough in one of the videos, and they're actually a lot more fun than I remembered, so I'll be coming back to them a bit more next year for sure. Heroes that I've played twice this year only. Shadowcat is one of them, and I think War Machine is the other. Now, interesting, Shadowcat is one of those heroes that actually I really do love playing. She's really fun to play, but what I tend to do for some of the heroes that I love to play is that I don't play them because I'm worried that I will play them too much. So that's certainly the case for Shadowcat. I shelved her when I more than than twice. But I played her twice this year in leadership. I know because I wanted to use Mutant Mayhem, and I built a deck for Shadowcat there. War Machine, I feel he kind of is almost like solved in the Justice deck with Shield and with the Confused, like Float Like a Butterfly. I play that this year in 2-player mode with Martine, and I feel that in the other aspects there's not much more to explore with him, but I could be wrong, so I will eat my words. If I'll try to play him more next year, but I feel like his strongest suit is Injustice in the Shield build. Heroes I played 4 times this year. Cable and Miss Marvel. I think that is it, right? I think so. Let me just check. Oh, and Phoenix. So yeah, Cable, Miss Marvel, and Phoenix. Cable and Domino came out Next Evolution last quarter of last year. I played them a lot last year, so maybe that's why I petered off this year. Played Cable 4 times in Protection because I hadn't played him in Protection before. I know I lost all those games. A couple of them were in 3-player mode with Martine and Steve from Play the Game. We played an exceptionally hard Mr. Sinister Expert match with Future Past and 2 superpowers to begin with. So that was hard, and I played him a couple of times in True Solo against Sinister Expert, and I lost as well. Miss Marvel, yeah, I know she's very popular. Again, cursed with that champion trait. I've got to give her more love next year. I know she'll probably kill it in Justice and Aggression. I played her a few times last year, but yeah, only 4 times this year. And Phoenix, using the Psionic cards, I'm assuming that came out, has really amped her up, and the likes of Psylocke. So I think Cybo Attack and the other one, I never remember the other name. It's probably why I played it in Aggression 3 times and Protection once this year. Oh, and Spider-Ham is the last one that I played 4 times this year. Yeah, Spider-Ham's a strange one. I do like him. He's not on the priority list, basically because I'm a comic book fan and I tend to lean towards the characters I love reading in the comics, and I don't read much of Spider-Ham. He's fun, but yeah, I don't. I don't think I've lost a game with him yet, but he's yeah. Anyway, let me see what else have we got here. So I move on next to and Spider-Man as well. I've only played 4 times this year. Similar to Shadowcat, it must be, because I love playing Spidey. I could play him all day, but I probably held back on him because I wanted to play. I didn't want to overplay him. I wanted to play other characters because there's so many to choose from. Played him in Leadership 4 times. I remember I played him against Thanos in one of the videos, and Black Cat. I think I Voltroned her. That's why it's all in Leadership. I've got to try her inside. Sidekick with her as well. I think I played Spidey before the Sidekick cards came out. Storm is another one for players. Storm, I don't know. She's a bit of a mystery. I like Storm, but I don't know why I don't play her that much. Played her twice in Justice and twice in Leadership. I'll try to rectify that later next year. Oh, and Valkyrie 4 times as well. Valkyrie, I don't think I will play her that much. Don't really enjoy playing her. I'm sorry, I know there are a lot of Valkyrie fans. Shout out to Dave, who, is very convincing in telling me why she's so good. I just really suffer and struggle with her in True Solo. I know she does very well in multiplayer, but yeah. So Heroes, I played 5 times this year. Domino, surprising. I would have thought I played her more. And Hawkeye. Yeah. Domino and Hawkeye. Domino, again, probably suffered the same as Cable. I played them a lot last year towards the end. So put them on the back burner. Hawkeye is probably about right. I like Hawkeye. He's just like the everyman, right? Poor thwarting, poor defense. He's squishy. He's a human. But he's fun when you take him out. I played him once in aggression, 3 times in justice, and 1 time in protection. Domino played 4 times in protection and once in leadership. Okay, so 6 times. I played Magneto 6 times, Miles Morales, and Wasp. Yes. These 3, Magneto, look, he came late, only released late this year. I'll be playing him plenty more times, 2 times in aggression, 4 times in leadership. But he's dominant, isn't he? I love his magnetic pull. It's very fun. Miles Morales, probably because I've been watching the Into the Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse, that I get the urge to play Miles. He's cool. I like all the Web Warriors, but he's probably on the lower end of the Web Warriors that I like to play. But yeah, 3 times aggression, 2 times justice, 1 time leadership this year. And Wasp is interesting. Wasp, I played 5 times in aggression and 1 time in justice. I've turned the corner with Wasp. I really hated her. Didn't like her at all last year because I couldn't make her work. I couldn't win. And I'm winning now with her. I find she's really fun. She's just very different with AntMan. And I think there's that thing where you just got to give it time to understand them a bit more. But I really do like Wasp now. Like, I genuinely do. I genuinely didn't like her before. So yeah, that's a big turnaround. Okay, heroes. I played 7 times. Black Widow, which is surprising. 2 times in justice, 5 times leadership. Captain Marvel, 3 times in aggression, 4 times in justice. Doctor Strange, 3 times in aggression, 2 times leadership, 2 times protection. Gambit, 5 times in justice and 2 times in protection. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And I think I've got Iron Man as well, 7 times in leadership. Yeah, what can I say? All these are fun. Here. I'm surprised at Black Widow. I know I played her a lot in Justice, which I think is the aspect for her. So I think with the 5 playthroughs in leadership, I must have just tried her in other aspects. Captain Marvel is always a good time. You draw so many cards. She's so powerful. I love playing her. 3 times in aggression, 4 times in justice. I played her in protection before and in leadership, so that's probably why I played her more in the others. I don't know, just to try her out, but she's a lot of fun. Doctor Strange is a lot of fun as well. A lot of people think he's the most powerful. I think a lot of people don't like to play him because he takes long. I find him fine. I like the Invocation deck. I did lose 1 game in aggression, I think, because I did try him against that Sinister Expert game that I put Cable up against, and I was a bit too cocky. But Doctor Strange is fun. I used a sidekick deck with Wong in one of these leadership decks there. Gambit, I really want to get a better hold of Gambit. He's decent. I get a decent win rate from him, but I want him to really just be dominant and shine. In Justice, I feel that's where he can be with breaking and entering, and in protection as well. So maybe with the newer protection cards, I can get something off him. But yeah, not as dominant or successful as I hoped. And Iron Man, I don't usually play him that much actually, but I did play him once, a Boom Guys deck in a Hand It Over segment, a superior Iron Man deck with Web Warriors. That was a lot of fun. I just find building his armor, it could feel lengthy at times, but once you do, like, it's so much fun. He's so powerful, and he's got a lot of money, just like Tony Stark. So I really like that. Heroes I played 8 times. I think it's just the one. I think it's Rogue. Yeah, Rogue I really like. Rogue I really like. I played her a lot, 5 times in aggro, 2 times in justice, and 1 time in leadership. I think this was for the Floor is Lava. I chose her as an aerial character to go up against expert mutagen formula, and that's probably where I got most of her playthroughs this year. But apart from her shortcomings of not having Stalwart in True Solo and drawing that card, I think she's fun. I love her superpower adaptation. I love the puzzle of trying to get her to work with other traits. So yeah, I hope to play her a little bit more next year. Okay, so heroes that I played 9 times. That's pretty cool. We've got Adam Warlock, Gamora, Magic, Spectrum, SPDR, and Spider-Woman. Let's go backwards. Spider-Woman is great. I mean, I don't know why I don't play her more. Probably the same reason I don't play Shadowcat and Spider-Man. I just kind of hold on to her too much. Also, she's got the dual aspect, so a little bit more extra work when you deck build. Maybe I'm lazy. But she's certainly fun. I'll get more games with her. I did a really cool deck, Have You Met My Friends, with her in leadership and in aggression, where she teams up with all the big hitters like Hulk, Thor, Sentry, Hercules, Wolverine. It's great. SPDR, 3 aggression, 3 justice, 3 protection. Fantastic. I love SPDR. Probably one of the best designed heroes, I think, in the game. I could play SPDR a lot. Very different from the other heroes as well. So there's a certain flavor for me. I played SPDR thanks to the deck from Critical Encounters from Steve. And I think I played SPDR in a 2-player game with Martine as well. A lot of fun. Spectrum played twice in Justice, 3 times in the pool aspect, thanks to VillainTheory's pool deck for a handed over segment, and 4 times in protection. Spectrum's great. Just be mindful of her cards and the rulings. Speed of Light, when you change form and draw a card, you can actually draw a card first and then change form. That probably helps you a bit more. Those 2 actions are simultaneous. And when you're in one form, like Photon, and you change to Gamma by playing a Gamma Blast, you can only trigger that response from the Gamma upgrade after the event, after you resolve the event. I think I played that wrong this year. So just be mindful of that. I used that response from the upgrade to ping off a tough, and then I dealt 7 damage with the attack event. But you should really be playing the attack event first, resolving all of that, and then you play the response. So I got that wrong, but she's very good. Magic, 8 times in Justice and only once in Aggression. I made a wild deck for her, which was a lot of fun. Look, she's kind of like Storm. Probably I should be playing her more than I am. But there's just a long line of really fun heroes to play. But I love playing her every time I do. So, yeah. Gamora is fast becoming one of my favorite Guardians to play. I'm trying to be better at playing the Guardians, and Gamora, I've kind of come to the realization that she's actually really good. So 4 times in aggression, 4 times leadership, 1 time protection. Really do enjoy her mechanics and her training room. Even love her sword as well. I've tried to get Godslayer and Gamora's sword out, have her 2 huge swords just swinging. And Adam Warlock is another big find. I never played him that much in 2023, but played him 9 times this year. And I just love, based on the tutor deck, I love to play him kind of like that. He's so unique, and I urge anyone that hasn't played him to give it a go, because it's really fun. Like, he is really fun. Okay, let's bounce to 10. Heroes I played 10 times this year. Now, I think I've got a few of them. I do. First, we've got Black Panther, played 10 times. Ghost Spider, Psylocke, Star-Lord, Vision, and Venom. There's a lot here. Venom, I played a really fun deck in Justice. So played him 6 times in Justice, 4 times Leadership. In the Justice deck, I had a deck called Special Issue, I think Special Shield Issue, which had him kitted out with weapons because, he's from the military. So had him with his, obviously, multi-gun and his pistols, but added a plasma pistol, side holster, and some pulse grenades. It's a lot of fun. In Leadership, he was very powerful. Love playing Venom. He's very straightforward, but no less satisfying. Vision is always fun, and I've got a hero board for Vision now, so I'm one happy chappy. 9 times in Aggression and 1 time in Leadership. I played him a lot against Zola Expert and Ultron Expert this year, and he's just super fun. Love the changing form heroes. and you get that extra bit of fun with Vision's intangibility. Star-Lord is a work in progress. I'm trying to play him better. So I played him 6 times in leadership, 1 time in pool, which was a little bit of a disaster. Deck courtesy of Boom Guy, but nothing to do with his deck. It was more so, I think the deck is catered more for multiplayer, and 3 times in protection. But Star-Lord is, risk reward. I'm a lot more comfortable with someone like Deadpool. I hate encounter cards, so it's not the best, but I want to try him a bit more next year. I want to get to be a better player with Star-Lord. SheHulk is one of my all-time favorites. She's a great puzzle. 4 times in aggression, 2 times leadership, 4 times protection. Psionic cards. You have a field day with her. I played her a lot in Justice. I'll keep on playing her more. I'm surprised that she only got 10 this year. Ghost Spider, kind of similar as well. Surprised. Played her 9 times in protection, 1 time in Justice. I love how she can do stuff in the villain phase, and she can ready. She's super powerful, and I've really enjoyed her this year. I might play her more next year as well. I just love the character. She's a good character. And Black Panther, I think he suffered a few losses. I had him go up against Magneto, Expert, in the Wrapped Up in Metal, I think, weekly one-shot from Fantasy Flight. So I tried him 7 times in Justice and 3 times in Protection. The problem, I think, with Black Panther is that he's very limited in that his hero kit is all about Wakanda Forever. So I'm going to have to dive deep into other decks and see how others have exploited him more. But I find it very limiting that that's what he does, and I can't find ways to get the aspects to... I mean, there's one way I did with his Retaliate. I tried to amp up his Retaliate in a protection deck with Dauntless, Electrostatic Armor, Energy Barrier, that sort of thing. So he retaliated for quite a bit, but I didn't really perfect that deck. But I'll try it again next time, maybe more next year. All right, so heroes, I played 11 times. Captain America, very cool, and Quicksilver. I think those are the 2. Cap, I played once in aggression, 4 times Justice, 3 times leadership, and 3 times protection. He's just always a good time. He's not the most complicated, very straightforward, but you get to be Cap, right? That's a lot of fun. And I like I can do this all day, and I like his other alter ego action. I guess it's an action where you can spend 1 less resource to play an ally. Very cool. I played him in a 2-player locally with Wolverine. Shout out to Dave as well, and Cap thwarted and protected like a beast. It was great. Quicksilver, 11 plays this year, 10 times in leadership and once in protection. I played him almost 3 times as much last year. He was one of my all-time faves last year. Still is a favorite of mine. It takes a while to get going, but he's got a very interesting mechanic. I love how he readies. I obviously tried leadership more this year. I think I used him in aggression and justice last year a lot more. So I just wanted to test him out in leadership this year. I think that explains that stat. So 12 times. Heroes I played 12 times. Let's go through them. Angel, Drax, and Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler came in late, but look, I've already played him 12 times. I'll probably play him more, all in protection. He's so good in protection. I've recently built an Excalibur deck with Captain Britain, Shadowcat, Marvel Girl, Moira McTaggart. I want to see how that goes in Justice. But he's fast becoming one of my favorites. Drax is super strong, and I really enjoy playing Drax. Again, my revisit to Guardians players, which I hadn't given much love before. Drax, 8 times in protection, 4 times in aggression. Super strong in aggression. Shout out to Josh from Get Up in Games. He kind of got me into Drax because of his love of Drax, and watching his playthroughs just shows how powerful Drax can be. So yeah, he's actually a lot more powerful than I really originally gave him credit for. And Angel, again, I love that kind of puzzle aspect. 3 times aggression, 4 times in justice, and 5 times in protection. He's so well-rounded. I mean, he can stun, he can confuse, he can thwart, he can attack well. I use his metamorphosis more than anything. Techno-organic wings is nice to have. It actually is very good to have, but I don't lean on it. I don't bank on it, until I see it. But metamorphosis is great, and just him changing forms is really good. I've learned to go into Archangel a lot more. I was a little bit conservative before because of his acceleration, but he's definitely worth it. Okay, I'm going to 14 plays. We have Bishop, X23. Oh, those two. So X23, 12 times in protection, 2 times in aggression. She's super fun. She's not someone I usually gravitate towards, but I want to try her in leadership with a sidekick, Honey Badger, next year. And Bishop, actually, I really do like. I think I love this whole idea of taking damage. 3 aggression, 2 justice, 4 leadership, and 5 protection. I kind of failed in his protection deck. I did a hit me baby one more time protection deck. God, I've hit him too much. So I've got to refine that. But I'm going to have more fun with him next year across all of the aspects, I reckon. Okay, 15. Heroes are played 15 times. Oh, I think that's only the one, which is AntMan. Surprised it's not more. AntMan would have to be one of my favourites, if not the favourite. And with by the same token, Avengers Hero board coming out, that is you'll see a lot more AntMan playthroughs, I guarantee, next year recorded. He's so much fun. I recently made a deck. I might publish it called It's All in the Wrists. I'm trying to give a bit more love to wrist gauntlets, but really he doesn't need it. He's strong all around. And you can see I played him 12 times in protection, obviously with the repurpose, 2 times in justice, 1 time in leadership. So hero I played 16 times. I've got a couple of them. First one is Iceman and SheHulk. Both are so much fun. SheHulk, 4 times in aggression, 12 times in justice. I just love her justice deck. I built it called Civic Duty. It is based around law enforcement, so beat cops. It's got meditation in there to help her buy stuff. Superhero law division, of course, and her alter ego action, but also some shield cards smattered around, just because Jen's all about within the legal system. Very cool because she stays almost in alter ego. I'll be playing her more next year in leadership and protection. I just want to I want to explore her more and her options. I really do enjoy SheHulk. And Iceman he's so much fun. He's got a few shortcomings in the thwarting ability, but you get the what's it called? Cryokinetic upgrade. And resources, he's fine, like power belt and team building and depth focus. He's fine with them. And then if you get X-Jet, then you're sweet. But I love Iceman. 11 times in protection, 3 times in aggression, 2 times in justice. I'm going to try more in aggression. I like how he can attach upgrades, and I want to exploit that. And I'll try more in leadership. I think they'll go really well. Okay, 20 times. I have played one hero 20 times this year. It's Thor. 7 times in aggression, 4 times in justice, 7 times in leadership, and 2 times in protection. Now, Thor, the one disappointing thing with Thor is that he suffers injustice. In True Solo, I'm talking about. It's very frustrating. I can't get him to work in justice. So I've lent back into aggression and leadership this year. Hence the 7 times played each. And a couple of times in protection. I haven't used the newer protection cards with him, but I reckon he'll be pretty cool with those, like Come At Me Bub and Riposte. But yeah, Thor, I mean, he's apparently really good multiplayer. I've never played him in multiplayer. I only played him in solo, and he can be difficult. But if you persevere, I think he's a lot of fun. And again, my love of the comical character is really a large part of this. Okay. Heroes I've played 22 times. I think there are a couple. First is Cyclops, and then Rocket Raccoon. Rocket Raccoon I'm struggling with, I've got to tell you. I played him 8 times in Aggression, 8 in Justice, 3 in Leadership, and 3 in Protection. I've only recently played him in Protection, and I am getting some success there with the repurpose. But yeah, I'm just uncomfortable flipping down all the time, and sometimes I lose out to schemes. So I want to work on him a bit more. And the numbers, playing 22 times this year, is testament to I just really want to figure him out properly, because he seems to be a favourite to a lot of people, and I like the character too. Cyclops is awesome. He was a find for me. Last year I played him like any other hero, just wanted him to be the hero and zap people with his optic blast. But I've come to the realization that's not him. The beauty of his design is his leadership and his tactician, and being a tactician. So full credit to Caleb Grace here. And if you use Cyclops to marshal your troops, for him to be the field commander, because you've got access to all the allies, right, across the aspects. If you use your allies, and you've got to think really carefully about the abilities that allies have and how they work for you, what they'll do for you, then you'll see that Cyclops shines. And that makes him very different, I think, to other heroes. And of course he can attack as well, but it's not, for him, it's not all about attacking. For him, if anything, it's about dropping those upgrades and helping out with the thwarting, because he's a leader. I really love Lost Cyclops. I think he's come in leaps and bounds, in my opinion, from last year to this year. Okay, so we are closing in. What have I got now? The hero I've played 23 times. Yes, it is the Hulk. I don't know if you are happy with seeing this or not, or if you don't have an opinion, that's fine. I know Hulk is very much bandied as the most flawed, one of the most flawed characters in the game. I still play him a lot. Played him 4 times in Aggression, 9 times in Justice, 6 times in Leadership, and 4 times in Protection. I forgot to say for Cyclops, I played him, let me just track back. I played Cyclops 12 times in Justice, 10 times in Leadership. Surprised I actually played him more in Justice than in Leadership. Anyway, so with Hulk, I got more success in Justice and in Leadership. Justice with a shield kind of deck, and Leadership I use Strength in Numbers, Clarity of Purpose, and a whole heap of Avengers allies and Mighty Avengers, and that helps a lot. He struggles in the others, although I have had success in Protection last year. In Aggression, in solo, I think he does struggle, unless of course you rush, and I'm not really a rush player. I know, I like Hulk. I mean, with all his faults, I think he's still very true and thematic. He's not, you can't control him, right? Which is why I guess in Rage you lose your hand. He's got no thwart because he's the Hulk. He's a savage Hulk. And he hits big, right? So I think thematically he ticks the boxes. But of course mechanically there are some problems with him. And I understand that, but I still love the character and I still want to make him work. And I think new cards, again, like the Protection cards, might help him out. Okay. The hero I played 27 times. We're edging towards, I think, the final 5. I think this is the, am I right? Yeah, this is the 5th ranked hero. It's Wolverine in the top 5 here. So Wolverine I played 27 times, 11 times in Aggression, 8 times Justice, 6 times Leadership, and 2 times Protection. Wolverine's just really well-rounded. Not well-rounded, I should say. He can suffer from thwart, but he's just so fun to play. He's an attacking machine. He's not as puzzly and like mechanically complex as say X-23. He's just very straightforward. He heals 2 after the start of every player phase. He's got base stats of 222, but I love his Wolverine claws, obviously, and playing attack events, and it's all about playing attack events. In aggression, I use You'll Pay for that a lot in Wolverine because he takes damage. It doesn't matter if he takes damage because he'll heal up. But yeah, no, he's really great. One of my favorite characters in the comic books as well. So that's a large part of why I play him a lot. So yeah, I'll definitely be playing him more. Checking out again the newer cards like Mutant Mayhem, Gunboat Diplomacy, and Come At Me Bub, that sort of stuff. See how we go. Combined forces from aggression. I don't know. We'll see. It's all about minions, right? Depends on which scenario. Okay, coming in at number 4 with 31 players this year, might be surprising, is Scarlet Witch. Yeah, I really do play Scarlet Witch a lot. Played her once in aggression, 6 times in justice, 22 times in leadership, and twice in protection. She's just fun to play. I recorded a justice game with her, Escape from the Museum with the Collector. That was in one of the videos this year. But yeah, I played 22 times in leadership. I built a West Coast Avengers deck in leadership with Scarlet Witch, and that's kind of what got me really into playing her. I just love her hex bolts. She's so powerful. The idea with her is to fish for the cards, right? So use spiritual meditation, use Agatha Harkness, fish for what you want, and just hex bolt the hell out of the villain. She's a lot of fun. Definitely like her, and definitely warrants more games next year. So yeah, 31 is justified this year. 38. So coming in at number 3. This might surprise some, is Jubilee. Yep, I played her the 3rd most time this year. 3rd most played hero this year. 5 times in aggression, 32 times I think in justice, and once in leadership. I think it's the most of any one aspect hero that I've played. So 32 times. That was because I have struggled with Jubilee. And I threw her in the deep end as well. I put her up against Expert Magneto, Mansion Attack, Sabretooth, that sort of thing. So that probably didn't help her stats. It probably explains why I played her 32 times in Justice. I really wanted to make her work in Justice. I felt that's where she kind of lives, but I felt she's pretty good in aggression as well. I've got her in a protection deck, which I'll play early next year with Martine. In a 2-player mode called the Real Squeal. He'll be Hawkeye, I'm Jubilee. We'll see if we can survive the Juggernaut. But yeah, 38 times. I was surprised at this. Jubilee. She's fun to play. I think it was because of my stubbornness that she got up here so high. Okay, so ranked at number 2, the 2nd most played hero for me this year, with 52 times, goes to Deadpool. Yeah, and I know a lot of people don't like Deadpool either. I know he's a one-trick pony, but I don't play him like a rush character. I like to build slowly with Deadpool. I played him 9 times in aggression, 13 in justice, once in leadership, 27 in pool. So I played him most in the pool aspect, and twice in protection. I want to probably try more in leadership and aggression, and I've heard Serve and Protect is awesome with him in protection, so I'm going to definitely test that out. I think for those of you that don't know, check out, I think it's Marvel Jesus on Marvel CDB. Very, very smart way to use Serve and Protect. Works well with Deadpool. He's random, right? He's not invincible. I've lost a few times with him to indirect damage. Can be done. It's just so random. But yeah, it feels good when you hit big with his maximum effort, and this card is fire. So I love him. I'll play more and more of him next year. He's really cool. He's one of my mainstays. He's just so fun. And if you've done the maths, you probably would know my most played hero of this year with 61 playthroughs. It goes to Colossus. Yes, another mutant, another X-Men. Colossus, really cool. One of my favorite mutants of all time, up there with obviously Wolverine and Nightcrawler. Colossus is great. Played him once in aggression, 24 in justice, 21 in leadership, and 15 times in protection. And they were all fun. Aggression, probably less so because of the thwarting deficit. And I can't use You'll Pay for that with Colossus, mostly because, if he's tough, he's not going to take any damage. I don't really like Smash the Problem, so it would be probably Gatekeeper or Chase Them Down, but I'd have to rely on... Oh, and maybe Looking for Trouble as well, because I'd rely on minions to actually help me thwart. But Colossus, I've had really good success with all the other aspects. Justice, leadership, and protection. I've published a leadership deck. I think there's no Bujamoy in team. And that was with a Shadowcat sidekick kind of deck build that I did. I can't remember the other ones in Justice or Protection, but I think I had for laughs. I played him up against Magog, and with the toughs, he just slayed Magog. It was pretty funny. But anyway, that is it. That is a rundown of my most played heroes of 2024. I'd love to know, as I mentioned, your most played hero of this year. What was your least played hero? And again, which hero surprised you? Which one did you think you wouldn't have played as much, you ended up playing? And which one didn't you give enough love to that you wish you had? That sort of stuff. Very interested to hear. Let me know in the comments below, and let's get a discussion happening. But apart from that, I wish everyone a fantastic end of the year. It's been so much fun creating this channel, Rey Plays Games. I can't wait for more playthroughs next year. I hope you all play more games, more champions. Let's keep the community up vibe and going, because it's a fantastic community. A big shout out to all the content creators listed in the show description that I've had the pleasure and honor of meeting and interacting with. And I'll see you on the other side in 2025 for more games. But until then, happy gaming, and I hope you have a very fun New Year's Eve and New Year. Catch you then. See you later.